Have you ever found yourself excessively afraid of making mistakes or failing at work, or people getting the wrong impression about your personality and your reputation? You feel like it is going to reflect poorly on you as a person. Well, your self-worth could be attached to your work. In this video, we're going to look at the hidden dangers of attaching too much of your worth to your career, how to untangle yourself and have a healthy work-life balance. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy, and if this is your very first time stopping by, kindly consider subscribing and pressing the bell, and you will be notified every time I post a video on matters leadership, professional growth, and career advancement. If you're a highly ambitious, achievement-driven person, it is easy to let your job define who you are, so much so that you normalize being addressed by your work title. Engineer Nancy, Dr. Nancy, Captain Nancy, Professor Nancy. But now the twist here is when you find yourself having sleepless nights because someone forgot to address you by your title before calling out your name, and you feel like this is the highest level of insubordination. Your sense of worth will be wrapped up in your work. We know that work is a big part of our lives, and it is important to celebrate our achievements. You just want to be cautious enough to know when it's beginning to define your sense of being. And in this episode, we are going to use the acronym CODE, C-O-D-E, to pick out the signs, for the signs that you want to absolutely look out for, that will show you that you are becoming, your sense of value is becoming too attached to your career. Ask yourself this question as we continue down this episode. Who am I without my job? Who am I with my job? Am I the same person? Do I lose my sense of identity if I do not have my job? Then stick around until the end for some practical guide on how to cultivate a sense of worth that is independent of your job. Are you ready? Let's dive in. So the letter C represents constant, the things that you constantly do that rob you of your sense of value. For example, that constant need for validation from work, when you desperately yearn for praise, for recognition, for acceptance by your colleagues, that element of constantly checking in with your boss to find out what your boss thinks about you. Is your boss happy with your work? Are they happy with the fact that you delivered yesterday and you are supposed to bring it in today? And you are constantly fishing for compliments, even from your colleagues. This is the kind of behavior that can make you vulnerable to the fluctuations in people's opinions. You will be dependent on what is coming from them to feel good about yourself. So what you want to do right off the bat, to start defining success on your own terms. I delivered at this time. I pat myself on the back. I brought in the work. I did what I was supposed to do, and I exceeded my own expectations. This way, you're going to start building your own stamina and having your own sense of value that is coming from the inside. Do you experience a constant struggle when handling criticism, where you become defensive or even upset when you're receiving feedback, or you take it personally and you feel devastated when you receive negative comments? This is going to prevent you from learning from mistakes and even improving on yourself at a personal level, but it may also strain relationships with your colleagues and your superiors alike. There's this guy called Mark Brand who says that critique, feedback, or reaction to one's work or the way they have presented it, regardless of intention, is a gift. But I just want to quickly add that you want to be very, very cautious about the source, because some people are known to criticize with the aim of plucking your wings so that you cannot fly. And some people have a track record of giving you wings just through their criticism. Both positive and constructive feedback are opportunities for growth. And then there's the constant overemphasis on external metrics for success, where you're always talking about promotions, raises, awards, and you feel insecure and dissatisfied when external recognition is not coming your way. This kind of focus can cause anxiety and stress if the external validation is not forthcoming. So this is a very good time for you to start pursuing skills that are going to boost your self-esteem independently of other people's opinions. This brings us to the letter O, which represents overworking yourself and neglecting personal time. Do you feel the need to frequently work for long hours as you believe that this is going to increase your productivity? There is a truth to that, but you are only useful to that organization when you are in the best of health. But overworking yourself is going to leave you feeling drained, it's going to leave you feeling tired, it's going to leave you lacking energy, is going to leave you feeling mentally foggy, unable to concentrate. Everything that is going to lead to a decrease in productivity and an increase in susceptibility to illnesses. The frequent colds and tension headaches are pointers that you need to slow it down. So this is a good time to establish boundaries so that you leave work at work and you leave home at home. That way you will have time for relaxation and have time to take good care of yourself. You might be asking yourself, how am I neglecting my personal needs and interests? Well, when you find yourself skipping meals or eating unhealthy food because you do not have the time or the energy to cook, you could be skipping out even on your hobbies because you want to consecrate all the time that you have to your work. You're canceling out on social activities and your social time with the people that you care about, and even relaxation activities that you once enjoyed before. Neglecting personal health can lead to a decline in physical health, such as weight gain or weight loss, weakened immune system, or overall poor health because regular checkups have taken a backseat. It also affects your health, your mental health and mental strength, leading to feelings of isolation and dissatisfaction with life. If you're receiving value from this video, kindly let me know. If there's anything that you are guilty of up until now from what we have discussed, kindly leave me a comment. I'm going to read it and get back to you. I am guilty of most of what we have discussed only because I know that there's a point where I was overworking, but I thought that I was doing it for my good until I realized that it was working against me. The D stands for description, and that is the next one. How you describe yourself in public. How do you define who you are? So when asked about or introducing yourself to new people, do you primarily talk about your job and the achievements that you have at work? For example, someone just asks you, tell me about yourself, and the first thing that comes out is, my name is Nancy. I am the head of the marketing department at Hewlett Packard. I have led the company through different campaigns that have all come out successful. If this company is on its feet, it's because I am part of it. If this department is shining, it's because I'm part of it. This kind of emphasis on your profession can come out and make it look like your job is the most defining aspect of your personality, overshadowing other personal attributes that make up for who you are. Practice introducing yourself with a mix of professional and personal instead. For example, well, my name is Nancy. I'm the head of this department in my organization. But during my free time on weekends, I love hiking, I love cooking, I love dancing with my friends or with my children. That way it gives you a sense of who you are at a personal level, and the professional aspect does not overshadow the core of your being. So looking at your life responsibilities and decisions, are they heavily influenced by your career goals and your work? For example, you choose where you want to live based on proximity to your workplace and the career opportunities that are available in a certain area, even if it means being far from your family and friends. Additionally, you might skip important personal events or even neglect relationships because you prioritize the work commitments, for example, opting out of a family reunion or canceling a vacation because you have a last-minute project that you have to handle. This is what is going to slowly lead to an unbalanced life because professional life is prioritized over personal life, potentially leading to strain in relationships and a lack of diverse experiences outside of your work environment. Moving on to the letter E, which represents your emotional thermometer, the emotional highs and lows that are tied to your work. Are your emotions heavily influenced by your work performance? For example, you have been spearheading a project for the past several months. Your boss has recognized your effort in it and you have done quite a good job. You can even be proud of yourself. Your boss makes it a big deal. He makes it public and he wants everybody to know what kind of an asset you are to that organization. You feel that surge of energy, feel that sense of pride. This emotional high can reinforce your attachment to external validation and praise and make you reliant on external accolades to feel good about yourself. On the downside, what would happen if it was criticism and failure coming your way? For example, you hand in a report, but it comes back with significant negative feedback from your supervisor. He's asking you, the red marker pen has done its work. There is so much that needs to be changed, and he's been very vocal about it. You need to change substantially because that report is below, way below average. You feel devastated. You feel ashamed. The kind of feedback that is going to reduce your self-esteem and you start doubting your own capabilities at the workplace. This emotional low can make it difficult to stay motivated and potentially lead to the fear of taking on new challenges, responsibilities, taking risks. And this is where you want to heighten your coping mechanism such that you know that it's not about you as an individual, it's not about your self-esteem, it's about your confidence in what you are doing. So you need to sharpen your skills, but know that at the end of the day, you are enough at an individual level. If any of the above sound all too familiar, you are not alone. The plan is to know how to balance your self-worth beyond your work. So to untangle yourself, I am going to introduce you to my 555 workplace sanity rule. I call it the 555 rule of staying sane at the workplace. And the first 5 represents the 5 hours of your day every day at the workplace. You want to commit the best of your resourcefulness to these 5 hours. Divide it if you have to into the first 2 hours in the morning when you get to the office, 1 hour 30 after you have your short break, and another 1 hour 30 just before you leave for the day. That way you bring the best value of what comes from the inside of you. This is going to help you set clear boundaries such that when you finish at the workplace, work stays at work and home stays at home, and you feel productive both ways. And then the second 5 represents the 5 hours cutting across the week. So you have 5 days of the week, Monday to Friday. You want to divide 5 hours such that every single day has 1 hour giving back to yourself. You want to commit to your hobbies. You want to commit to building yourself on the inside. And this can be it's going to be 1 hour per day, but you can divide it into 2 such that you have 30 minutes at the beginning of the day and 30 minutes at the end of the day where you just commit to, if it's reading that you like reading, do that. It could be meditation, just want to have a moment to meditate. This is the time where you commit to that, so that you have a moment where you have a meeting with yourself, you reconnect with yourself to be the best of yourself before you show up for the next day. And then the third 5, which is very, very important to me, is you pick out 5 people from your tribe. I call it your inner circle. I talk a lot about this in my book, Lead Outwardly Loud, because you need these 5 people who know you at your highest and at your lowest. These are the people who are your burden bearers. These are the people who see you when everybody else is clapping out there. They see your tears. When you are struggling, they are there with you, and they have been there through the test of time, so they know who you are on the inside out. Why do you need these people? Because As you go high up, as you start eyeing those positions in your organization, the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. When you get into positions of leadership, people will come with more questions and you are supposed to have answers. That is not going to exempt you from facing life. You will face moments of loss. You will face moments of gain. You need to have people form a safe place where you can go and be vulnerable, a place where you can go and be yourself, a place where you can go and reconnect with who you are, with or without that job. And this is where your inner circle comes in. And once you've identified these 5 people, what you're going to do is now start hydrating those relationships. You want them to know how important they are to you, just the way you are important to them. You want their problems to be your problems, their struggles to be your struggles, so that you get to walk this life together and you know that at the end of the day, your support system is solid. Actively redefine success by broadening it to include personal growth, relationships, and well-being. If you received value from this video, I'd love to hear your takeaways. I'd love to hear what spoke to you the most and what you could be struggling with. And if you feel at a deeper level that your work is stealing from your personal life, or your personal life is suffering because of your work, this is something that I work on with my clients, and I'd love to work on it with you. Just fill up the calendar. There's a calendar link in the comments. Fill it up and let's have this conversation. Or you can still send me an email so that we can have this conversation and get you to enjoy your leadership journey to the fullest. If you are sitting maybe asking yourself, have I outgrown my current position and I'm ready to move on to the next level of my career, but you don't know how to navigate it, I have a video here that you can have a look at, and it is going to put some of your questions to rest. I hope you enjoyed once again, and see you on the next one. Bye.